Om Bang Me Manasi Pratishthita Mano Me Vachi Pratishtitam Aviravirmayedhi Vedasya Ma'anistha Shrutam Me Ma Prahasi Anenadhite nahoratran sandadhami ritam vadishyami satyam vadishyami tanmam avatu tadbhaktaram avatu avatu mam avatu bhaktaram avatu bhaktaram. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Om. May my speech be accorded with the mind. May my mind be accorded with the speech. O self-effulgent one Brahman, reveal thyself to me. May you both, speech and mind, be the carriers of the highest truth to me. May not all that I have heard depart from me. May I be able to join day and night through this study. I shall utter what is verbally true. I shall utter what is mentally true. May that Brahman protect me. May that Brahman protect the teacher. May that Brahman protect me. And may the Brahman protect the teacher. Om. Peace, peace, peace be unto you all. Good morning. This morning, I am going to speak on the universal moral law. It is connected with ethics. Ethics is a very complicated subject and very sensitive and controversial also. We know that ethics and morality are not one and same thing. Ethics is a study. Ethics is a science of morality. Ethics is a science. It is the academic pursuit. But morality is our day-to-day activity. Ethics will judge our activity is moral or not. So, this is the basic difference between ethics and morality. But it is closely connected. The problem of ethics and morality is this: we cannot resolve the problem of ethics and morality from the point of reference of ethics and morality. It is time-bound. The limitation of ethics and morality is this: it is time-bound, it is space-bound, which is true for these circumstances, that is not true for other circumstances. And it is based on evidence, which is always not correct. Also, it has another complicated ingredient, that is the intention. Intention has a bigger role in ethics and morality. So the bottom line is, we cannot resolve ethics and morality from the point of reference of ethics and morality. It always remains unsolved. the judge, the other people, they try to give the verdict, but always that verdict is not correct, because those verdicts are based on evidence. And evidence is not always the proof of ethics and morality. So, what is the topic of my talk, the title of my talk this morning is Universal Moral Ideal. So, is there anything which is universally moral? Is it possible? Because I have certain religion, you have another religion, he has another religion, she has another religion. So, religion, morality, ethics, it differs from region to region, religion to religion. So, is it possible to make one moral ideal, universal moral ideal? Is it possible? In very informal way we can say no, it is very difficult to fix universal moral ideal. But let us see whether it is possible or not. I shall approach, actually I gave a talk, Sunday talk, on the ethics and morality, 2 or 3 talks in sometimes I gave it. But today exclusively I shall not restrict myself to ethics and morality. It is little bit, I shall digress a little bit and let us see what happens. And obviously I shall speak this not from the Indian perspective. So from the Indian perspective, this universal moral ideal is called dharma. I have to judge whether it has the universal characteristic or not. Secondly, what it is, how it can be implemented in day-to-day life. I would try to give these 2 answers. So what is dharma? What Swami Vivekananda actually did and said, everything based on dharma. So dharma has a very big span of coverage. So etymologically, it means that which sustains a thing or person. Sustains a thing or person means there are 3 definitions on dharma is very popular in Indian scriptures. Among them, the best one we find in Mahabharata. It is said in Sanskrit, I shall translate it again, Dharanat dharma ittahu. Dharanat means which holding. Dharana means holding. Which holding dharma. Dharanat dharma. Which is holding this universe, which is holding every individual. That dharanat is called ahu iti ahu. Iti ahu means it is said. It is said dharma. What is said dharma? What is dharma? Which dharanat, which is holding. Dharmena vidhrita prajaha. The second sentence, dharmena, by dharma, vidhrita prajaha. Prajaha means the human, the people, the society, the human being. They are vidhrita. They are sustained by the dharma. So this is the meaning of dharma. How it is holding individual human being and the society. It is said that it is the inherent property. So it is the inherent property of an object or individual by virtue of which we exist. What is the characteristics by virtue of which we exist? That is dharma. So what is the dharma of an individual? The human being. It has a specific type of dharma. What is the dharma? What is this unique? Now this word is very common. The unique. What is the unique characteristics of human being? The unique characteristics of human being is humanity. What is the unique characteristics of a cow? The cowness. That is the unique characteristics of a cow. So every individual, every living being has a unique characteristics. Code, the unique code, DNA code. Everyone has unique DNA code. So that is the unique characteristics of human being. That is called dharma. So for that, the society exists. For that, human being exists. So that is the sustaining power. So if that sustaining characteristics, inherent characteristics is changed, what will happen? If from an individual, if this unique inherent characteristic changes, what will happen? He will become, if it becomes similar to an animal, then we will call it not human being but an animal. So that is the inherent characteristics. It is called dharma. So in this way, actually it is not only Indian concept. In Neo-Confucianism, in Chinese philosophy, we find it, and it is corresponds to Li. There is a word in Confucian philosophy. It is called Li. Li is the same meaning of dharma. And in Aristotle's philosophy also, we find, he said, it is a form. It is also similar concept of the form in Aristotle's philosophy. In Rig Vediya Purusa Suktam, in Indian scripture, the Purusa Suktam, it is also said that yes, dharma is just like this. So, this is dharma. So, how it becomes, this is the individual, then how does it act in the society? It develops in society. So there is a very good small story in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It says that God created this human being, but God was not satisfied. Then what happened? God, that He made a glorious form. It is dharma. Then He created dharma. So this is a story. So in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, God created dharma. And every person has his own swadharma. In Bhagavad Gita, if you go through Vinoba Bhave's analysis of Bhagavad Gita, you can find that Vinoba Bhave, he emphasized on swadharma. In second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, each individual has his or her swadharma. Swa means own, its own dharma. So everybody has our individual dharma, individual characteristics, individual unique DNA code. So don't take DNA is a biological term, but it is not biological. I gave just a very lucid, casual example. So this is everybody has their swadharma, individual dharma, and from this on actually came the varna dharma, which determines the function and place in the society. So the same kind of group, they made a group. That is, this became varna dharma. So same characteristics, similar, almost similar characteristics, people. They clusters, then there is come the varna dharma. Then, but the society as a whole is governed by a universal social moral ideal. It is not that day-to-day things we do. And the problem came. Problem came in this way. Everybody has their individual swadharma, individual characteristics, individual unique code, individual unique characteristics. And it conflicts. And it creates problem. So the thinkers, the ancient seers of India, they started thinking how it can be harmonized. For individual, it is okay. How it can be harmonized in social aspect, in bigger aspect. Then how it can be universal. So universal means it is applicable for everybody. So moral ideal must be applied for everybody, universal. And how it can be? What is the source of it? How can we figure out to make it universal? If it is a local law, it cannot be. If it is based on religion, no. Then what is that particular thing by which we can make it universal? And it will become the universal moral ideal. So they started thinking, and from Indian perspective, they found out what is that? They connected it with the cosmic principle. What they did, they connected, and it is based on, it is not somebody's daydreaming. It is based on the scripture. It is based on Upanishad. So what they did, they connected the social moral ideal, the individual moral ideal. Till then, it was individualistic. In a small group or small society. Now they connect it with the cosmic principle. And what is this cosmic principle? If it is a cosmic principle, if it is connected with cosmic principle, it must be universal. So what is that cosmic universal, cosmic ideal? They connect with dharma. So they connect in this way. So the individual self or Atman with the cosmic self or Brahman. They connect with this. They said that macrocosm and microcosm are built on the same plane. This is fundamental Vedic principle. Without this Vedic principle or Vedantic principle, that is the fundamental Vedantic principle and based on Upanishads. In all the Upanishads, in all the four Vedas, they say only this thing, that microcosm and macrocosm, they are connected. And they are not only connected, they are dynamically connected. So if there is some movement in microcosm, in macrocosm, there is a movement. So they are dynamically connected. If there is some kind of movement, individual also have the movement. So it is, in other way, it is also the impact of prayer. A mass prayer or a mass congregation, it has a tremendous impact. If you can attend a mass prayer or mass congregation, you can find that there is a tremendous. Why? It is because what they are thinking, it creates some movement in individual, and that movement also create the cosmic plane. So when it is connected with the cosmic, it becomes universal. The sun is a cosmic thing. So the light of sun, whole world, whole universe, they are benefited by the sunlight. So it is universal. So what they did actually, they connected individual Atman with the cosmic self Brahman. Dharma came to be identified with this universal spiritual order. The goal of dharma became God realization and self-realization. So God realization means the two levels. First, the self-realization and the realization of the identity of self, the microcosm, microself, and the cosmic self. So these two levels, this is dharma. So in this way, they connect dharma with universal thing. Everybody in this universe, they have consciousness. So individual self means the consciousness. Similarly, there is a cosmic consciousness. There is a cosmic rhythm, cosmic law. As our body is functioning in a micro level law, whether we accept it, like it, or dislike it, our body will function. Our body will function a certain fashion. Similarly, this universe will act. This universal will go on in a certain fashion, whether we like it, whether we accept it or not. So this rhythm, these universal principles, in Sanskrit it is called ritam. And in individual level, it is called dharma. This is the universal law. In this way, they connect it. From 10th century AD onward, it is in this sense of spiritual life that dharma has come to be understood. In Bhagavatam, it is said that its central theme, dharma, cleansed of untruth. That is to say, pure knowledge and devotion, unfettered by the law of moral, social, and physical world. So, if this is the ultimate dharma, that the connection between individual self and the cosmic self and the realization of individual self, if this is the dharma, then how it can be implemented in social setup? How can it be implemented in the individual, physical? So these basic central principles, universal dharma, universal moral code, universal moral ideal, it has 4 aspects. And these 4 aspects are physical, moral, social, and spiritual. These 4 things: physical, social, moral, and spiritual. And in Sanskrit, it is said dharma, artha, kama, and moksha in Sanskrit. So these are applied. These are 4 functions of this universal moral. So let me explain it in detail. So the artha means the wealth, money, wealth. So wealth is connected with the physical order. So in physical level, dharma is connected by artha, money, wealth. Then in moral order, it is connected with dharma. In social order, it is connected with kama, the desire. And in spiritual level, it is connected with moksha, liberation. And accordingly, these 4 things, they divided into 2 sets. You can very easily consider that these are 2 sets of things. Artha and kama, the money, wealth, and the desire. These are worldly things, physical level and social level. So these are, they called this path, those who will follow this kind of path. In Sanskrit, they called it pravritti. Pravritti means the involvement. You must have the involvement with all this. So in social level, you must have the involvement. In physical level, you must have the involvement. So artha, money, it sustains the physical level, body, these worldly things, the all physical things. Physical things means what we can see, we can touch. Those are the physical things. So physical things sustains artha, the money, the wealth. Wealth is percolated in the physical level. It sustains that kind of thing. Then social level kama, the desire. Desire or work. Kama means work also. So this in social level, it sustains like that. So these are the grosser level, the pravritti, the path of involvement. And then other 2, the moral ideal, which is called dharma, and moksha, the spiritual ideal. That path is called nivritti. So the path of withdrawal. In Katha Upanishad you find The Kathopanishad is starting when this small boy Nachiketa went to Yama, the Lord of Death. So he was allowed to ask 3 questions, small boy. But before allowing these 3 questions, Yama asked, see, there is 2 paths before any spiritual aspirant. Any of the paths you can select. Those are pravritti and nivritti. One is the path of withdrawal and another is the path of involvement. Which path do you like? Now, these are the 2 paths, nivritti and pravritti. So in the nivritti marga, so in the path of withdrawal, all kind of yogas, we find the moral things and the sadhana chatushtaya, that is also there, and yama, niyama, all these things are there. So these are all different practices are there to withdraw, the path of withdrawal. And we have to practice that and we have to follow that path. That is the path. And we reach to the moksha of the universal spiritual ideal. But what about the path of pravritti? The path of involvement? I would like to focus on this particular path. What is the path of the pravritti, the involvement, the path of involvement? Meant for those who want to enjoy the world or are unable to free themselves from the obligations and desire. So for them, this is the path. So see, universal moral ideal, it is, some notion is that Indian philosophy means, or Indian spirituality means, the path of withdrawal. We do not have wealth. We have to get rid of our desire and wealth. We have to get rid of our social connections. So we have to confine ourselves inside the cave or isolated ourselves. This is the idea. But it is not. It is not. Because dharma is always there in the path of involvement also. Because universal social ideal, universal moral ideal, they control. That is why in these 4 segments, the first is dharma. Because dharma is involved, the moral ideal, universal moral ideal is also in the artha. Universal moral ideal is also involved in the kama. So what is that? Let me explain how it goes on. So the ample of scope for the fulfillment of 2 values, these are called also values, these 4 values, the artha, power, and kama, the pleasure. So here the main function of the 3rd value, dharma, is to keep the pursuit of power and pleasure under control. This it does by dividing the duties of life into 2 categories. The kamya, the social level, we know the social level is kama. Kama is involved in social level. How we can make it the universal moral ideal? Because moral ideal is connected with justice. All morality is connected with justice. So, how we can act in universal moral ideal, in social level, in physical level, that is the question. In social level, the kama is the ingredient or value by which we can follow the universal moral order. So there are what the ancient Indian philosophers they did. They make it two categories. One, they call it kamya karma in Sanskrit. It is called kamya karma. It is not regular work, but it is you have to do in certain times. And the second one is the optional. Kamya karma is optional. And one is nitya karma. Nitya karma is obligatory. So two types of karma they categorized. In I was searching. In investment, the people do the investment, no? In investment, there are two categories. One is called staple. I did not know that. I came to know. One is called staple. Staple means it is the basic need. You have to do that. And another is called staple discretionary. Discretionary is you may do it, you may not do it. Staple discretionary is the, building, furniture. So it is not necessarily, but it is the higher level, for your added luxury, you can do it. So these are also same. The kamya karma is the optional. Sometimes you have to do in a special case. The big puja, the homa, sacrifice, fast sacrifice, all these things. It is in the Vedic setup. In the modern setup, the furniture, beautiful furniture, all these things are obligatory. Means the optional. You may do it, you may not do it. But obligatory, the nitya karma, it is the twilight. It is called sandhya. So twilight worship. Every evening, it is the custom in Indian family that every evening the lady who is the main lady in the home, she worships the god and goddesses every evening. This is called sandhya. So these kind of nitya karma, this is called nitya karma. Every day you have to perform that. But some are kamya karma. These are optional. So like a huge fire sacrifice, you cannot do every day. Once in a while, occasionally, once in a year, you can do that. This is called kamya karma. So this is in the Vedic setup. In the modern setup, you see, the school of your kids, this is must obligatory. You have to do that. This is the staple work. You have to do that. And the other is again the furniture, the beautiful house, bigger house. These are staple discretionary. So you may do it, you may not do it. So that is the modern set of kamya karma and nitya karma. But how this is connected with the universal moral ideal? The universal moral ideal comes in this way. The time is some fundamental duties. There is some fundamental duties. Let me explain it. In modern times, the extension of this distinction into secular life has become very much necessary. So in democratic countries, the constitution guarantees to all citizens certain fundamental rights like the right of life, freedom, property, contract, education, etc. These rights have, however, been used mainly for the kamya karmas. The time has come to enforce certain fundamental duties like service to the poor and the helpless honesty, interreligious understanding, communal harmony is all become the nitya karma. So these are the regular daily work. So these are become the nitya karma. And what becomes the kamya karma? Like the fundamental rights, the right of life, these become the optional work. But the goal or result of the pravritti marga is believed to be abhudaya. Ultimately, what is the result of the path of involvement? What is the result of getting the wealth? Prosperity. In Sanskrit, it is called abhudaya. So the prosperity. All our social functions, ultimately, the society will prosper. So ultimate need is prosperity. And then the abhudaya, the welfare or prosperity. The goal of withdrawal path, the nivritti, is liberation. For centuries, these two goals are completely different. It is quite obvious. The path of withdrawal and the path of prosperity. Abhudaya, pravritti, nivritti. And then it is called Shreya in Katha Upanishad, the pravritti and nivritti, so path of involvement, path of withdrawal, they term it Shreya and Priya. Shreya means the path of good, and Priya means the path what we like, the path of pleasure. So Shreya and Priya. So this path of pravritti is prayer. Sanskrit term, I know it is difficult to understand, but this is the path of involvement. Is another call is priya, and path of withdrawal is called shreya. This is the path of good, and shreya ultimately leads. If we follow the path of involvement, then it will lead us to the abhudaya, the prosperity. Money will give us prosperity. Society will prosper. Society will give us the prosperity. But here, if we stop here, that will lead us to the darkness. We have to move forward, and ultimately it will give us nishreyasa. So starting with Shreya, and it will give us through abhudaya nishreyasa, through prosperity. It is starting with the involvement to the society, and it will give us the prosperity, and ultimately it will reach to the same place, nishreyasa. So Shreya will also, the path of withdrawal will also reach there. How can we reach there? How it will become the universal moral ideal? Prosperity of whom? If we follow the path of kama, the desire, and kama in two levels, work obligatory and optional. If we follow this path, or if we get the money, artha, then it will give us the prosperity. Prosperity of whom? Prosperity of individual. So these two paths are always divided. In Katha Upanishad we see Yama said these are the two paths. One is leading to the darkness, one is leading to the liberation. So in which path do you want to follow? So always these two paths are separated. It was Swami Vivekananda who combined these two paths and make it universal. Universal moral religion. For centuries, these two goals had been considered mutually incompatible or antagonistic. Those who followed the path of the former had no hope of attaining the latter, whereas those who followed the path of latter had to forego the former. Swami Vivekananda removed the gulf, removed the difference between these two ideals, these two paths, and combined them into one single path. How did he do it? How did he make it the one universal moral ideal? Not the individual, not the liberation. So he said that the meaning of prosperity, he changed the meaning of prosperity. He said the traditional meaning of the word prosperity was one's own welfare and prosperity. Swamiji changed it to the welfare of the others. So through artha, through money, through social function, if you can serve others, the obudaya, the prosperity for whom? Not for individual, for others. And then it will become the universal law, the universal moral ideal. When you are finding the prosperity for yourself, it must not be universal moral ideal. Because for individual is always connected to selfishness. When we are selfless, that is moral. In other place, Swami Vivekananda said, what is ethics? What is morality? Selflessness is morality. Only one word. Selflessness is the morality. There is no any kind of all selfishness is immoral. So Swami Vivekananda made in modern age the universal moral ideal. In ancient age, they connected the Nitya Karma, Kamya Karma, all these ways they did. And here also, the interfaith dialogue, individual things, all these are different words. But artha, what about the money? How money will become the dharma, the moral universal ideal? When the money is connected, the wealth or prosperity is connected with others, that will become the moral ideal. And that ideal he set for the ideal as the ideal of the Ramakrishna order where we are belonging. The ideal of that order is this. He combined these two things, the pravritti marga and the nivritti marga. So pravritti marga is doing for others, and nivritti marga, the path of withdrawal, is the liberation for individual. So he said in this way, Atmana mokshartham jagat hitaya cha. Liberation for you, individual, and the welfare of the many. So they combined this pravritti and nivritti. So the path of withdrawal and the path of involvement, he combined and make it universal ideal. Atmana mokshartha jagat hitaya cha. For your own liberation and for the good of the humanity. So through this, and that is the universal ideal. That is the moral universal ideal. Do you have any view on this? Do you think individual liberation and good for the many, is it not universal? Can it be changed? Can it be changed in region, religion, or anything else? Any question? Yes.
Well, I was thinking about the idea of the golden rule, how it applies here. And do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So, in a way, individual liberation is what you want, and the good of mankind is for others. So, I don't know, kind of a little bit of a relationship there. Right? I mean, I consider the golden rule to be like the main thing that governs my behavior. I don't want to do it to someone else, but I would not like to have. But I consider also what you said about there's no such thing as a rule that can apply to everybody. But basically, yes.
So see, if I want to get my liberation only, don't you think that is a kind of another type of selfishness?
It's true.
So that's why he combined these two things. It is not only your own liberation, but also for the good of the humanity. It is not one after another. It is not step by step. It is a parallel approach. And ultimately, these are one only. Through the good of the humanity, you can get your liberation. Yes.
How? So in this combination of being able for others through, I guess, the wealth and desire, how do you kind of keep from the possibility of? Because I remember you said like through this, like in centuries ago, we thought of wealth and desire as perceived prosperity, and at the end go back into ignorance, the darkness. So, how do you keep from kind of thinking that you're giving others prosperity, but in the end you may just be giving, like letting others go while
It is not the moment you are thinking and you are working for others' prosperity. At the same time, this is the work. At the same time, it means you are elevating in spiritually. It doesn't do work. You have to do separately your spiritual progress or your path of withdrawal you are following. You are doing this means automatically you are doing this. These are not, are different two activities. When you are thinking for others, that means you are elevating spiritually. It is at a time these two things are happening. Any other questions? This is one aspect. But if we consider exclusively the ethics and morality, then you can find that Swami Vivekananda said the universal morality, which is applicable for everybody. This is one. But there are other ways also how it can be. And the point is that if you think in every religion, in the world religion, why should, Swami Vivekananda asked this question, why should we be moral? Why? When we are seeing that those who are immoral, they are thriving, they are prosperous, then what should we be moral? Why? And Swami Vivekananda gave the answer. The answer you will find from the world religion is for the heaven, for the saying of prophet, for religious law, injunction, any kind of injunction which is involved with the fear. It is a kind of injunction. Why should we be moral? In social setup, we must be moral, otherwise the police is there, the court is there, the judgment is there. So fear, everything is involvement with fear. Morality and ethics is connected with fear and injunction. But in Indian concept is not that. What Swamiji said, it's a different issue. I spoke on it a number of times, but okay, in future also, if time permits, we can speak on that. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkham Apnuat Sarvastarotu Durgani Sarvo Bhadrani Pashyatu Sarva Sadbuddhimapnotu Sarva Sarvatranandatu Durjana Sajjano Bhuyat Sajjana Shantimapnuat Shantamucchete Bandhebhyo Muktaschanyan Vimochayet. May all be happy. May all enjoy good health. May all see happy events. May all be freed from miseries. May all be freed from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. May the wicked become virtuous. May the virtuous attain tranquility. May the tranquil be free from bondages. May the freed make others free. May the Supreme Spirit, the presiding deity of all sacred activities, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe feels satisfied. Om, peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. We have few announcements. 9th March, Saturday, we will have the observation of Shivaratri here in this hall at 7 p.m. There will be some music and worship, and then offering of water, pouring water and flower on Lord Shiva. So it is 9th March. And then on 17th March, we will have, so 10th March we do not have any Sunday talk. So next Sunday, 17th March, we will have Sri Ramakrishna's birth celebration here at 3 p.m. Sunday at 3 p.m. On that day also we do not have any Sunday talk. So you all are welcome. And on 6th April, there will be a special talk, Living in Spirit. A professor from Iowa University, emeritus professor, he is going to deliver a talk here at 6 p.m. on 6th Saturday, 6th April. Hanuman in and out in Ramayana. So he is the translator of Tulsidas Ramayana in English. Is the expert of Ramayana. So he is going to deliver the talk here. I'm sorry, I forgot his name. So I am unable to disclose the name here. You will get the flyer. So these are the events in our pipeline. Thank you. As usual, tea and coffee will be served in the Saradananda Hall, which will be followed by Prasad luncheon. You are all welcome. Thank you.